Fine. Then we shall start with the class. So today what we are going to start with is, we are just going to have a small revision. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Yes, is my voice audible now? Is my voice audible to everyone now? Yashwant Rishi, is it audible? Okay, fine. So, shall we go with the class? So, today we are going to complete our first chapter. Last week itself we have completed. Did I tell you any test today? No. Homework, yes. What was the homework given to you? Rashmi, I am unmuting you. Can you just say what is the homework that gave you?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the homework that I gave you?
Ma'am, difference between nuclear reaction and chemical reaction.
Then?
Ma'am, then difference between compound and mixture.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Rashmi.
Thank you.
So first, difference between nuclear reaction and chemical reaction. Yes. Raise your hands. How many of you did this homework? Okay, 10 of you have raised your hand. I'll ask, what about other 16 people? Okay, first question is to Sanjay. Sanjay, unmute yourself. Sanjay? Okay. Rishikesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Rishikesh. Yes, can you tell me what is the basic difference between nuclear reaction and chemical reaction?
Ma'am, nuclear reaction has a very high energy and chemical reaction has low energy, ma'am.
So nuclear reaction has very high energy, chemical reaction has low energy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all the difference?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay. Rishikesh?
Yes.
Yes, Rishikesh, can you tell me what is the basic difference? Rishikesh, I have unmuted you.
Ma'am, I only said now, ma'am.
Oh, you only told, okay. Thank you, Rishikesh. Rashmi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what is the difference?
Ma'am, nuclear reaction and chemical reaction. Ma'am, a nuclear reaction takes place in atom's nucleus.
Okay.
In chemical reaction, electrons in the atom are responsible for chemical reaction.
Okay, good. That's all the difference?
No, ma'am.
Then?
There are some more.
Hmm.
Ma'am, in nuclear reaction, nuclear structure of atomic species are used to change. But in chemical reaction, nuclear structure of atom species remains unchanged.
So nucleus is not disturbed in chemical
Yes,
reaction,
ma'am.
but in nuclear reaction,
Chemical
the
reaction.
nucleus gets disturbed.
Disturbed, ma'am.
Then?
And in nuclear reaction, protons and neutrons react inside the nucleus. And in chemical reaction, electrons react outside the nucleus. Nuclear react, and then, ma'am, nuclear reaction is having its mass. But in chemical reaction, reactants and products have equal mass.
Good.
That much.
Very good. Very detailed difference you have brought up. Good, Reshmi. Next,
Thank you,
Grace.
ma'am.
Grace? Grace, yes, tell me what are the differences that you have noticed. Yes, Grace.
Between nucleus and chemical reaction, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, the same as Rishikesh told us, ma'am.
Okay.
Nucleus reaction has a high energy and chemical reaction has low energy.
Okay. Good. Very good, Grace. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you.
Aditya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Aditya. What difference did you note down?
Ma'am, chemical reaction normally occurs outside the nucleus, and nuclear reaction happens only inside the nucleus.
Okay, then?
In chemical reaction, during such reactions, there is low energy change. And in nuclear reaction, energy change accompanying nuclear reactions are higher and larger in nuclear reaction. And in chemical reaction, chemical reaction is either reversible or non-reversible, but in nuclear reaction it is not and it is irreversible.
Okay, good.
That much only, ma'am.
Okay, good. So next question goes to Selva Narayana Srivatsan.
Yes, we got 2 minutes.
Selva Narayana Srivatsan, can you answer? Selva Narayana Srivatsan? Okay, Selva Narayana Srivatsan. I'm not able to hear you. Fine. Shrutika.
Ma'am?
Yes, Shrutika. Tell me what are the differences that you have noted down between nuclear reaction and chemical reaction.
Ma'am, in nuclear reaction, it involves a change in atom's nucleus, ma'am.
Okay.
And in chemical reaction, it does not involve any change in the atoms, and also it is like the rearrangement of electrons, ma'am.
Good. Very good. Thank you. So mostly anyway, the remaining people also should have noted the same point only, right? Whatever they have told, you're going to repeat. If someone has come up with some different point, they alone can raise their hands, other can lower your hands. Because it will take a lot of time if I keep on asking everyone, each and every one of you. If you're going to repeat whatever they are saying, just lower your hand. If you have different points, you can raise your hand. Okay, Darshana. Yes, Darshana.
The key difference is that a chemical reaction involves electron rearrangement, ma'am, but the nuclear reaction does not involve a chemical. Sorry, the chemical reaction, electron rearrangement, ma'am. It only involves the changes to the nucleus, ma'am.
Good, very good. Then?
That's it, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Darshana. Kanish?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Kanish.
Ma'am, in nuclear reaction, the reaction radiates heat, ma'am.
Okay.
But in chemical reaction, even if it radiates heat, it will not be like a nuclear reaction, ma'am. Nuclear reaction radiates more heat, ma'am.
They not only radiate heat, they also radiate radioactive substances. First one is radioactive substances. Then they also radiate heat, in the sense large amount of heat, which human or other living organisms cannot withstand. But during a chemical reaction, the heat that is getting radiated can be withstood. Like, not all chemical reaction, most of the common reactions that is taking place in nature is able to be withstood. Okay, that heat can be withstood. It's a very little amount of heat. Okay, but not like, that's why So how much heat it will releases, it's like in sun, it is in the type of reaction is a nuclear reaction. So we cannot withstand the heat of the sun. We can't even go near the sun. So in that way, a nuclear reaction will emit that much amount of heat. You all understand? Okay, thank you. Yes, Kanish, you have told your point, lower your hand. Achaya?
Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, Achaya.
Ma'am, a chemical reaction is a process that leads to the chemical transformation of one set of chemical substances to another, ma'am.
Okay.
A nuclear reaction must cause a transformation of at least one nucleide to another, ma'am.
Yes, there will be change in the nucleus. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, what do you mean by the radiation emitted during a nuclear reaction? During a nuclear reaction, there are a lot of rays that is getting emitted. See, listen here. The sun that you get, from the sun, there are a lot of rays that is getting emitted. You understand? Ultraviolet rays are getting emitted from the sun. Visible light is getting emitted from the sun. And you might have also seen about X-rays. X-rays is emitted from the sun. You also know about radio waves, the signal that they pass, radio signals. So that kind of waves are also emitted by the sun. Okay, apart from that, highly radioactive, the highly penetrating rays, like you call it as, this is alpha, Greek word. Alpha ray, gamma ray, or also the Greek alphabets, these are all. So alpha rays and gamma rays are also emitted by the sun. You understand what I'm trying to say? So these are all the different types of rays that are getting emitted from the sun. So in that, the alpha rays and gamma rays will be very less in amount. Okay, they cannot travel a very long distance. So these rays are found near the sun. But there are chemicals, there are some elements that emit these rays. Okay, and we use these alpha rays or gamma rays for treating cancer patients. Okay, radiotherapy. In radiotherapy, yes, in radiotherapy, we used to give these radioactive rays are passed into the human's body so that it kills the cancer cells. Okay, so so what happens is these rays are highly powerful and highly penetrating. They can penetrate. See, listen here. Visible light, if you see, that is from tube light or some sunlight that you get. If you go and stand before the sunlight that is getting passed, what happens? It creates a shadow because sunlight cannot pass through your body. But gamma rays or alpha rays are not like that. They can penetrate through your body. They are highly penetrating. You understand what I'm trying to say? So these kind of rays are emitted during the nuclear reaction. So it is highly dangerous to human body or other living organisms. Clear? Okay. That's why they use it to kill the cancer cells. Cancer cells cannot be killed by surgery. So for that, they use the radiotherapy. And after radiotherapy, the person who has undergone radiotherapy or chemotherapy, they have lot of changes in their body undergoing. What are those changes? They'll face a lot of hair fall. Am I right or no? No hair will be grown for them again. And also lots of changes in their body, birth control. They won't be able to give birth. So all these kind of so many changes takes place in their body. It's because of the alpha rays and gamma rays. This is what happened in the case of Hiroshima and Nagasaki also. In Hiroshima and Nagasaki, what happened is in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, what happened is lot of people lost their lives, and the radiation in Hiroshima and Nagasaki was there around that area for a very long period of time. Even people who came alive in that bomb blast, people who escaped that bomb blast, they they had to go through a lot of other difficulties in their life. Like the baby, most of the baby that was born was stillborn. That is, they were born dead, died. Okay, stillborn babies were there, and not only that, the human body had to undergo. Many people who survived that Hiroshima Nagasaki bomb blast has to undergo cancer. Many of them had blood cancer, lung cancer. So they under many people was infected with cancer cells. So these are all because of the radiations that were emitted during the bomb blast. Okay. So for many hundreds of years, people were undergoing the effect of the radiation. You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay. Why did they drop bomb? World War. So it was because of World War. Okay. Yes. So that's why people are very conscious after that there is no more World War going to happen. Okay. Now, America dropped bomb on Japan. Before that, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, but after that, America dropped bomb on Japan as a counter attack. Okay, fine. So in World War, it happens. So World War should never get repeated because now all countries have developed technologies. One bomb will destroy the entire country. Okay, so no World War should happen. Yes, kids. So now what we are going to see is we are just going to have a simple oral test. Before that, we are going to suppose to see the difference between your compound and mixture. What do you mean by compound? What do you mean by mixture? That is what we are going to see now. So compound means we all know that. Wait a minute, I'll open a Jamboard. Okay. So now, first thing that we are going to see is about compound, right? Compound means one is compound and the other one is mixtures. Yes. Examples of compound. We saw about various compounds. We saw about NaCl, magnesium chloride, water. Water is a compound. Now, pure NaCl is a compound. Okay? Pure in the sense, if you say NaCl, it should contain only NaCl. But the table salt that we are using is a mixture. Ma'am, what do you say? The table salt that we are using is made up of sodium chloride. It's not only made up of sodium chloride, it also contains other impurities in it, like iodine. It contains iodine in it. Am I right or not? They said iodized salt. Am I right? So it contains iodine in it. Not only that, the table salt during the rainy season, when the humidity, when the moisture content in the atmosphere is more, okay, what happens is the table salt will become moist. You could see the watery appearance in the table salt. It won't be as dry as you notice. Okay, so that is because the impurities, that is because of the impurities present inside the table salt. Okay, so NaCl is a compound. When I say sodium chloride, it contains only sodium chloride. It doesn't contain any other substance. But when I say table salt contains sodium chloride. Apart from sodium chloride, also has other contents. Ma'am, then because table salt in my home is different from table salt in your place, the constituents in table salt might not be same. It might be different. It contains sodium chloride as majority in table salt, but the iodized salt or the content of iodine or magnesium impurities inside your table salt is different, varies from one salt to other salt. Okay, now magnesium chloride, we know, yes, it is a salt. If it has other impurities in magnesium chloride, then it is a mixture. Water, pure water, that is distilled water, contains only water in it. That is the water bottle that you have to add for inverters. Inside inverters, you used to add some distilled water, right? So distilled water is pure water. You understand what I'm trying to say? But what about the mixture? What about the mixture? Water, potable water, or drinking water that you have, river water, sea water, all these are mixture. Sea water is not pure water, it doesn't contain H2O alone, it also has other impurities dissolved in it. River water, drinking, you can say, ma'am, pure drinking water, shouldn't I say like that? What do you mean by pure? Pure drinking water means it's not just if it contains mud or dirt in it, it is impure. If it doesn't have anything in it, it is pure. That assumption is wrong. Okay, Pure in the sense, if I say pure water, it should contain only water. Okay, if I say pure dirt, it should contain only dirt, nothing other than that. You understand what I'm trying to say? That is called purity. If someone say pure soul, also he's so innocent, pure soul, then he should be only innocent. Okay, no soul is pure, except like even the baby soul. Okay, that is pure because it has not developed, it has not seen the real world. But all the other people, no soul is pure. Okay, every soul is contaminated with one or the other thing. It might be contaminated with greed, it can be contaminated with desires, unwanted desires, it can be contaminated. Everything is contaminated. But what we human has to do, we have to take our pathway, which is right, which is wrong, we have to decide. According to you, something might be right, according to others, something might be wrong. That doesn't matter. Okay, so try to be pure in your own way. That's it. So drinking water. So drinking water in the sense, it's pure drinking water. You cannot say pure drinking water. If it is pure, it should be same everywhere. If I say pure water, distilled water is same everywhere. It contains only H2O in it. It is same everywhere. In your home, in my home, in America, everywhere distilled water will be same. But drinking water, here in my home, the drinking water taste is different. The potable water. In your house, it will be different. The nearby house, it will be different. Am I right or not? Same river water. The taste of Tamrabarani river's water and Kaveri water and Krishna river water is totally different. Inside Tamil Nadu itself, if you see the Sirvani river water, Tamrabarani river water and Kaveri river water has totally different taste. You understand? Similarly, seawater, if you see, seawater actually, yes, it also varies. Like they say, Dead Sea. Whatever you put on Dead Sea, it floats. Why? Because they say because of the high salt content. Because of high salt content, they are highly concentrated. What happens because of the density of the water is also more, and so it floats. They say. So that is what happens. So seawater is also not safe. So all these are impure. So you call them to be mixtures. In the case of mixtures, you cannot come up with fixed constituents, fixed proportion. Mixture do not have fixed proportion of constituents. You understand? It do not have fixed proportion of constituents. Those are all mixtures. You all understand what I'm trying to say? Okay. For example, I'm asking chili powder. Is that a compound or a mixture? You can reply in the chat. Is chili powder a compound or a mixture? Three of them have said. Rishikesh, Yashwant and Reshmi all has given the right answer. Achia, your answer is right. Is chili powder a compound or a mixture? Srinita has given the right answer. Kanish has given the right answer. Ritika has given the right answer. I am expecting for answer from every one of you. Shivani, yes, right? For students who have given the answer but I have not said the name, the answer that you have told is wrong. Yes, Aditya. Okay. So it is a mixture. It is a mixture. Chili powder is not same everywhere. It depends. The taste varies. So if it is a compound, it is same everywhere. Okay, I can carry any sodium pure, sodium chloride. Everywhere the sodium chloride is going to be the same, universally. But chili powder is not same. It varies from one house to other. Okay, so it is definitely a mixture. Okay, then air. Air, is that a compound or a mixture? Reply in chat. Good. All of you have given the right answer. But still, Sanjay, Selvanare, Srivatsan, check for your answer. Air is a mixture. Air is a mixture. Definitely, if you see now here in our area, the air is different. But when you go to hilly areas or to villages, rural villages, there the air that you inhale will be totally different. You could feel the purity in air. You could feel the freshness in air. So what happens is in certain areas the air might be very humid, water content, more of water vapor, water laden air might be there. So air is a mixture. It is not same everywhere. You understand? So you can easily feel the difference. In in Trichy, if you are there, in Tilai road, if you go, there the way they inhale the air you see is different. Just turn, go straight, take Salem road or Kulikalai road. Okay, when you cross Mukambur, when you cross the other area, you will definitely, because on the other side, what you have is Kaveri, river Kaveri, right? One side of the road, buildings are there. The other side of the road, it's purely Kaveri. So when you go through that road, definitely you will feel the difference. The difference in the air that you inhale, the freshness in the air that you inhale. Though it is not pure, but you could definitely find the difference. Okay, that is a difference that you could see. People, when you are in Chennai and when you move towards Pollachi or Kerala or the border states of Kerala, definitely you will find the difference. You will find the change in climate. You also find the change in air. So the constituent of air is not same everywhere. So it is a mixture. You cannot define a proper constituent or the percentage of constituents in air. Okay, and also mixture do not have a chemical formula. Chili powder doesn't have a chemical formula. Air also doesn't have a proper chemical formula. You cannot come because air contains oxygen in it, nitrogen in it. It has what do you say? Hydrogen in it. It has water molecules, water vapor in it, carbon dioxide in it. Apart from these are the major constituents. Apart from that, other impurity, other gases are also found in air. You all understand? Yes, yes. Now, next thing that we are going to see is I'm just going to give you the compound, the substances. You are just going to say me whether it is an element, compound, or a mixture. Okay. Aluminum foil. Gold jewelry. Gold bar. Gold bar. Just write your answers in the note, okay? Gold bar. Then you have to say whether it is an element or a compound or a mixture, okay? So I have given you 10. Try giving up your answers. First, I'll give you time. Don't answer here. Write in your notebook. First, write answers in your notebook. Then when I ask questions, answer one by one. Sixth one is sand plus water. Okay, now shall we start? First one, if it is element, put E. If it is compound, put C. If it is mixture, put M. What is the first one? Akshay has given the right answer. Kanish has given the right answer. Monica Sri has given the right. Good, Monica Sri has given the right answer. That's all. Okay. What is aluminum foil made up of? Aluminum foil is made up of aluminium. It is made up of aluminium. Symbol of aluminium is Al. What is Al? We have studied. What is Al? Only aluminium. Yes, what is Al? Al is an element. Am I right or not? Aluminium is made up of only aluminium atoms. If it is made up of only one type of atom, that is an element. So aluminium is made up of, Al is the symbol, it is made up of only aluminium atoms. So it is an element. It is called to be your element. Okay, next one. Gold jewelry. Gold jewelry. Second one. Selvanarayana Srivatsan has given the right answer. Sarvesh has given the right answer. Kanish has given the right answer. Srinita has also given the right answer. Okay, now gold jewelry is a mixture. Good, Shivani. Shivani has also given the right answer. So it is a mixture. Why? Because gold, the jewelry that we are wearing, is not pure gold. Because pure gold do not have the flexibility. Like the chain and all is highly flexible, right? Pure gold do not have this flexibility. When a chain is made up of pure gold, it will be, the flexibility will be less. So for that, they mix it with copper. So it varies from one jewelry shop to other jewelry shop. The proportion of the gold and copper varies, and most of all, the gold and copper are not reacting with each other. There is no transfer of electrons taking place from one element to the other element. Okay, so gold and copper are just mixed. When you heat, what happens is at different melting point, gold and copper can be separated. So gold jewelry is a mixture. Okay, now gold bar. Gold bar is an very good. It's element. Generally, gold bar is the pure form of gold. So it is an element. Very good. Very good. Those are better. Every one of you have given the right answer for this. Good. Good. The dosa batter is a mixture. Very good. Because everywhere it varies, you cannot give a chemical formula for it. Constituent varies in it, so it's a mixture. Good. Magnesium chloride. Good, Akshaya, Darshana, Yashwant Rishi, Reshmika, Reshika, Reshmi, Selvanarayana Srivatsan, Kanish, Jwalin, Akshita, Aditya Kumar, Shrutika, Janisha, Shriya. Janisha, your answer is not right. Shivani, yes, it's right. Magnesium chloride. You have a proper chemical formula. Like we know the chemical formula of magnesium chloride is MgCl2. If it is MgCl2 only, it is magnesium chloride. That is, they are combining in the ratio of 1:2. With 1 magnesium, 2 chloride is combining. So they can have a fixed ratio. They combine in proper proportion. We know what is its constituents. Wait for a minute. Don't go for fifth one, sixth one. Fifth one, it is not a mixture. Fifth one is a compound. Okay. So because magnesium chloride has a proper chemical formula, it has proper constituent. So fifth one is not a mixture. MgCl2 is a compound. Do you all understand what I'm trying to say? So they combine in the ratio of 1:2. Fixed proportion is there. They have a proper chemical formula. If I say magnesium chloride, it is made up of only magnesium chloride molecules. So it is a compound. So fifth one is a compound. What about sand and water? It is a, sixth one is a mixture. Yes, definitely. It is a mixture. All of you have given the right answer. Next, go to the seventh one, soil. Soil is a mixture. Good. All of you are giving the right answer. Soil is also a mixture. What about argon gas? Eighth one. Good. Selvanarayana Srivatsan, Monica, Reshmika, Kanish, Srinita, Shivani, Aditya Kumar, Yashwant Rishi, Ritika Ram Prabhu. Akshita, no. Yashwant Rishi also no. Argon gas is not a compound. Darshana is right. Yes. Rishikesh is right. Sanjay is also right. Yes. So, argon is an element. It is definitely element. You all understand? It is made up of only argon atoms. So, argon gas is an element. What about hair oil? Good Chelvan, Srivatsan and others also. Many are answering. It's going fast, so I am not able to say who is answering. Yes, hair oil is also a mixture. It is a mixture. Good. Now, next one is lemon juice. No, it's not a compound. Lemon juice is not a compound. It's not an element, Aditya. Lemon juice is a mixture. You add lemon, you add water. Some people add salt, some people add sugar. You do not have proper constituent in it. You cannot give a proper chemical formula to it. So lemon juice is a mixture. You all understand? So now I guess you are able to find out the difference between element, compound and a mixture. You all understand? That's all. So these are all some of the elements and compounds that we have seen. Okay. Now, just we are going to summarize the chapter today. First, we had good work, every one of you. We are just going to summarize the full chapter. So first, what do you have is a substance. It is made up of same type of atom is called element. If two elements combine, a compound element combine in a fixed proportion, to form compound. Okay, element has a symbol. Proper symbol can be given for element. Compound has a proper chemical formula. They have their own chemical property. Chemical property of compound is different from the chemical property of element. Or property of compound. Property of compound is different from its constituent elements. Like water is a very good example. H2O is a compound. Okay. Now it contains hydrogen and oxygen in it. H2 and O2. And one thing, why do I write it as H2O2? Listen here. Certain atoms or molecules. First, I'll tell you what is an atom. See, listen here. If I say carbon, it is an atom. Oxygen is an atom. When they both atoms combine chemically, it forms CO2 here. CO2 is a molecule. CO2 is a molecule. So, elements are formed from atoms. Elements are formed from atoms. Correct? So, if you take carbon element, it is made up of only carbon atoms. But if you take water as a compound, H2O is a compound. This H2O you could see everywhere. Like H2O is made up of what? H2O molecules. What is H2O molecule made up of? Hydrogen atom and oxygen atom. You understand what I am trying to say? Huh? I'll tell you. How two came, ma'am? In that way they combine. Carbon and oxygen, they combine. CO2, carbon dioxide means it is CO2. Sometimes they also combine in the ratio of 1:1 to form carbon monoxide. See, the chemical formula that we have studied is only for between metal and a non-metal. When a metal and a non-metal react, how to write a chemical formula? We have seen only that. But when two non-metals react, we have not seen how to write a chemical formula. Okay, for example, if you say carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon is an element, oxygen is also an element. And carbon is a non-metal, oxygen is also a non-metal. So chemical formula when two non-metals combine is different. CO2. So first what you have, carbon. How many oxygen do we have? 2. In compound, we do not say it as oxygen. Oxygen becomes oxide in compound, correct? So you say it as carbon dioxide. You all understand? So for example, if I have SO2, sulfur is also a non-metal, oxygen is also a non-metal. Ma'am, how do you say sulfur to be a non-metal? Atomic number of sulfur is 16. So its electronic configuration becomes 2, 8, 6. Correct? To become stable, it will gain 2 electron. So some atom, if it becomes stable, if it gains electron, you call them to be non-metal. So sulfur is a non-metal. Similarly, oxygen is also a non-metal. So when they both combine, the formula that you write will be different. Sulfur, oxygen, 2 oxygen you have, so you write it as sulfur dioxide. If I have 3 oxygen, if it is SO3, you write it as sulfur trioxide. Note it down. Note it down, every one of you. Few of you have raised your hands. Yes, Achia, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I could hear you.
Ma'am, please, on 9th page, ma'am.
9th page. 1 minute. Have you copied down this?
No, ma'am, copying, ma'am.
Just copy it down. I'll show you.
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am.
Darshana, what's your doubt? Darshana?
Ma'am, I have no doubt. For answering only, I raised my hands. Ma'am.
Shelvanarayan Srivatsan, what is your doubt? No. Uranium is a radioactive element. It's not strongest element. The element with highest density is, okay, find it out. It's a fact, okay. Find out element with highest density. Okay, then lightest metal. Lightest non-metal. Okay, and liquid metal. Then Selvanarayana Srivatsan. Yes, talk. So then liquid metal, liquid non-metal. Identify this. This is a homework for you. Also look at how this looks like. Element with high density, lightest metal, lightest non-metal, liquid metal, liquid non-metal. So this, all these you are going to find out the next class. And next class you are going to have a test in this chapter. Okay, do you all understand? Next week, all of you are going to write a test in this chapter. Okay, fine. Someone asked for the 9th slide. Yes. He is helium. Helium. Helium is a noble gas. And it's the lightest non-metal maybe. Yeah, I'm showing you the homework now. Yes, Aditya Kumar. Good. Hope you all have noted down. Fine. I think you all have the notes up to whatever I have given. So how you are going to study, prepare for the test is, prepare in the way that I am saying you. First, see about atoms. Okay. When atoms combine, they form molecules. So if something is made up of only atom, you call it as element. From when molecules combine, they form compound. Okay. After that, what we have seen is about mixture. That is a totally different category. So when you study about atoms, study about atomic number, mass number, electronic configuration, valency. Also see which is a metal. Among element, it can be classified into metal, non-metal, and metalloid. I have told you about it. Also look into it. Kids, this is the only difficult chapter that you have in 7th standard. Once you understand this chapter properly, all the other chapters are very easy and we can have fun studying all those chapters. Okay, so kindly do concentrate on this chapter a little and study. Okay, this is the most important chapter and it is enough if you have studied this chapter. You understand? All the other chapters I can explain you very easily. You all get it? So first study this chapter properly. As long as you get proper, so almost it will take even 4 classes, 5 classes to make you thorough with this chapter, because all the other chapters it will take hardly 1 or 2 hours to get completed. So let's concentrate on this chapter a lot and get thorough with this. Okay, so that's all. So you study about atomic number, electronic configuration, valency, and element you can classify into 3 types: metal, non-metal, and metalloids. Molecules combine to form compound. While studying about compound, you have to study chemical formula. So to write chemical formula, you should remember the symbol of element and also valency. Okay, so this I won't give you. If I say sodium chloride, you should know symbol of sodium is Na, symbol of chlorine is Cl. Valency of sodium is 1, valency of chlorine is 1. You should know that. I won't say anything. So you should study the first 20 elements, its valency by hearted. Clear? That's all. So thank you for today's class, students. It was a nice session with you today. So you have 1 week of time for your test next class. So get ready for your test. Okay. Yes, you should remember elements up to 20 with their atomic number. If you know its atomic number, you can easily say the electronic configuration and valency. So it's better if you remember the atomic number. Okay. Thank you all.